echoes from the void, the forgotten war between stars and souls. The universe had not always been silent. Long before the first humans looked up and wondered, the stars were alive, singing, breathing, and dreaming. Each star had a soul, a consciousness born from the fire that burned within them. They spoke to each other through waves of light, weaving music across galaxies. For eons, harmony ruled the heavens. But every light casts a shadow. In the space between galaxies, the dark corridors known as the void, something else stirred. These were the souls, beings not of light but of memory and emotion. They were the remnants of ancient civilizations, long extinct, their thoughts echoing across time. They did not burn like stars. They remembered. The souls believed the stars had stolen their peace. When the universe was young, the souls claimed dominion over existence. But when the first stars were born, their brilliance scattered the darkness, pushing the souls into the cold emptiness beyond. The void became their prison. For ages, the souls watched as stars created worlds, nurtured life, and filled the void with warmth. Resentment grew until it became a whisper, then a cry, and finally, a call to war. And so began the Forgotten War, a conflict fought not with weapons, but with light and thought, with dreams and despair. It was a war that the universe itself tried to forget. The first strike came from the souls. They sent echoes, phantoms of grief and sorrow, into the hearts of newborn stars. These echoes twisted the stars' light into shadows, making them collapse upon themselves. One by one, suns began to die without reason, leaving only black holes where life once had a chance. The stars, ancient and wise, responded with brilliance. They sent out flares of consciousness, beams of pure light that cut through the void, trying to drive the souls away. These beams became angels of light, guardians of galaxies, known later by mortals as supernovas. But light could not easily destroy what had no body. The souls fought with memories, invading the dreams of dying stars, whispering of guilt, of all the life their light would burn. The stars wept, and their tears became falling comets, shards of lost hope streaking through the darkness. Among the stars, one shone brighter than all others. Aurelius, the star of dawn. She had been the first to speak, the first to dream of harmony between all beings. When the war began, she refused to fight. She believed even the souls, in their sorrow, deserved peace. But her compassion was seen as weakness. The elder constellations warned her that mercy could doom them all. Then came Varos, the soul of shadows, the one who had started the rebellion. He found Aurelius in her solitude and offered her a choice: to join the souls, to end the pain of burning forever, and let the universe return to darkness. Aurelius refused. And with that refusal, the void itself screamed. The war became real. The battle between Aurelius and Varos was not fought with fire or blades. It was fought in silence. Waves of memory clashed with streams of light. Time folded upon itself. Worlds trembled as her radiance burned through the shadows, and his grief swallowed her brilliance. Mortals, tiny beings who lived on the planets of her light, felt earthquakes, storms, and floods as the cosmic forces tore the heavens apart. To them, it was just another natural disaster. They could not know they were witnessing the echo of divine war. For every star that fell, 1,000 souls gained strength. The void fed on loss, and soon entire constellations vanished. The night sky dimmed. Even Aurelius began to flicker. Varos pressed closer, whispering to her through the endless dark. Light fades, Aurelius. All things must return to memory. Join us. Let it end. But Aurelius remembered something Varos had forgotten: hope. She gathered her last fragments of light and sent them outward, not as weapons, but as seeds. Each beam carried a fragment of her soul, hidden deep in the hearts of distant planets. These seeds would one day awaken as life, beings who could remember both stars and souls. With her final breath, Aurelius whispered, "Let them dream for both of us." Then she went dark. Her light scattered, forming the first nebula, a cloud of memory and flame that would give birth to new stars long after she was gone. The stars mourned her. The souls felt victory, but in the silence that followed, they too felt something strange: sadness. For the first time, even the darkness missed her warmth. After Auralis's fall, the war slowly faded. The stars withdrew into deep slumber, their lights dimming to distant sparks. The souls, weary from endless sorrow, retreated into the deepest parts of the void, whispering stories to each other of what they had done. Eons passed. New stars were born from the ashes of old ones. Among them burned faint traces of Auralis's spirit. Her seeds of life began to awaken on planets far away. And on one small, blue world, intelligent beings looked to the sky and wondered where they had come from. They called themselves humans. They studied the stars, built machines, and dreamed of reaching them. Yet within their souls, something ancient stirred, an echo from the forgotten war. The humans carried within them the memories of both light and shadow, the compassion of the stars, and the longing of the souls. They were meant to be the bridge. But as humans grew powerful, they too began to fight. Their wars burned their world, and their sorrow reached the heavens. The souls in the void began to awaken again, drawn by the echoes of human pain. And the stars trembled, sensing history repeating itself. A faint whisper crossed the cosmic winds once more, Varos's voice, reborn through the suffering of countless minds. The light burns too bright again. Perhaps it is time the void returns. In the distant future, humans built ships that sailed beyond the edge of their solar system. One ship, the Aurora, carried a crew of explorers searching for signs of life among the stars. What they found instead was silence, a region of space where no light existed, where even signals vanished. The void. As the Aurora entered the darkness, the crew began to hear voices. At first, they thought it was radio interference. Then they realized the whispers were inside their thoughts, echoes of memories that were not their own. The souls had found them. Among the whispers, one stood apart, a gentle, familiar tone. It was Auralise, her essence faint but enduring. She reached out to the humans, pleading with them to remember the truth. You are both light and shadow. You are what we dreamed to be. End this war before it begins again. But Varos's echo also spoke, his presence vast and cold. They will fail. They always do. Let the stars burn, and let silence reign. The captain of the Aurora, a woman named Alara, felt torn between the two voices. One promised peace through unity, the other through oblivion. But then she saw something beyond comprehension, a faint shimmer in the dark, a dying star flickering back to life, as if Auralise herself still resisted. Alara turned the ship toward the light. She broadcast a message, not just across space, but through thought itself. Her words were simple, but they carried the essence of both hope and sorrow. We remember you, both of you, the stars that gave us light, and the souls that gave us meaning. We are your children. We choose to live for both. The void trembled. The echoes of war began to fade. The souls quieted, and even the stars burned a little brighter. For the first time in eternity, the universe was still. And somewhere, in the heart of that silence, a soft voice whispered, "Well done, my children." Auralise had not been forgotten after all. The stars resumed their song. The souls rested. And humanity, born from both light and memory, carried forward the story of the forgotten war, so that the universe would never forget again.